They told you oatmeal was the healthiest way to start your day, but what if I told you it might be silently harming your body? Especially after 60, some healthy oatmeal habits are actually triggering inflammation, gut issues, and even weakening your bones, and most seniors don't even realize it. In today's video, we'll uncover 6 common oatmeal mixtures that could be sabotaging your longevity, and what simple swaps can protect your senior health starting tomorrow morning. Stay with me. You might be shocked by number 4. For many elderly people, oatmeal has become more than just breakfast. It's a ritual. A warm bowl in the morning feels comforting, familiar, and safe. Doctors and magazines have praised it for decades, making it the go-to choice for those chasing longevity and better senior health. But here's the catch. Just because something is healthy doesn't mean it's harmless. Especially in old age, when digestion slows down and nutrient absorption becomes more delicate, every choice at the table carries more weight. The oatmeal itself might not be the villain, but how it's prepared, that's a different story. And yet, no one is talking about this. It's like wearing sunscreen at night. Sounds good, but it's not doing what you think. You see, seniors often mix oatmeal with whatever seems nutritious or tasty. Milk, bananas, honey, granola, seeds, a handful of this, a splash of that. But this mix-and-match habit creates silent chaos. What started as a well-intentioned breakfast turns into a slow disruptor of the body's balance. Especially in old age, when inflammation, fatigue, and blood sugar instability are more common, this kind of nutritional overload can backfire. It's like trying to water a fragile plant with a fire hose. Most elderly individuals don't even suspect that their morning bowl, the one they trust the most, might be undermining the very vitality they're working to protect. Let's make this real. Imagine Mrs. Dolores, 74 years old, strong-willed and proud of her healthy habits. She never skips her oatmeal. She adds cow's milk, slices in a banana, tosses in some sweet granola, and stirs in honey, thinking she's doing everything right. But despite her efforts, she feels bloated, tired by mid-morning, and her arthritis seems to flare more often. She chalks it up to aging. But is it really just old age? Or is her healthy routine quietly disrupting her gut, her joints, her energy? For many elderly people, this isn't just a story. It's their daily reality, hidden under the mask of healthy eating. And this is where wisdom kicks in. Longevity isn't about adding more healthy things. It's about adding the right things, and in the right combinations. Oatmeal on its own is fiber-rich, yes, but combine it with the wrong ingredients, and you risk poor nutrient absorption, sugar spikes, and long-term gut inflammation. It's like putting diesel in a car that runs on gasoline. The fuel might look clean, but it damages the engine. Especially for those in old age who need every bit of nourishment to support their organs, bones, and brain, the margin for nutritional error is much smaller than we think. Senior health is often shaped by small, repetitive choices. That means your oatmeal bowl, eaten 300+ times a year, could either build your strength or drain your vitality. It's not about banning oats. It's about asking the right questions. What am I mixing with this? Is this helping or harming me? And if the answers aren't clear, that's your body trying to whisper something. The sad part is, by the time those whispers become screams, like chronic fatigue or joint pain, the damage is already underway. The good news? It's never too late to course correct, starting with your breakfast. And once we start peeling back the layers of what really goes into that morning bowl, things start to get clearer and a little shocking. Some of the most common mixtures, especially among elderly people, are quietly fueling inflammation, sugar imbalance, and digestive stress. And believe it or not, it often starts with the most innocent combination of all, oatmeal and milk. Yes, that classic duo may not be as kind to your longevity as you've been led to believe. Mixing oatmeal with cow's milk might seem like a match made in breakfast heaven. After all, it's what many elderly grew up eating, a warm bowl of oats with a splash of milk to make it creamy. But for many in old age, the body's ability to break down lactose decreases significantly. What used to be easy to digest in younger years now becomes a trigger for bloating, gas, and unpredictable digestion. Senior health thrives on gentleness, especially in the gut. And cow's milk, with its natural sugars and proteins, often acts like sandpaper in an already sensitive digestive system. For many elderly individuals, inflammation doesn't start with a fall or an illness. It starts quietly, with what's on the spoon. To make matters worse, inflammation caused by milk isn't just about the belly. It travels. Seniors who struggle with arthritis or joint stiffness might find their symptoms subtly worsening, and they never suspect their breakfast. That innocent splash of milk may be adding fuel to the fire, worsening the body's response to pain. Inflammation doesn't shout right away. It creeps in, quietly stiffening knees, fogging the brain, and tiring the heart. That's why addressing it through food is so powerful. Eliminating or replacing cow's milk can be one of the simplest and most effective changes for elderly wellness. There are better choices. Plant-based milks like almond, oat, ironically, or unsweetened coconut milk tend to be gentler on the gut and less inflammatory. If your goal is longevity, reducing internal irritation is key. One elderly couple I once knew, Mr. and Mrs. Calhoun, made the switch to almond milk in their 70s. Within weeks, Mr. Calhoun's mid-morning bloating disappeared, and his joint stiffness in the afternoons was noticeably better. Simple change, big results. It's not about being trendy. It's about listening to your body and making smarter swaps for senior health. Think of the gut like a garden. If you water it with something that irritates the soil, even the healthiest seeds won't grow properly. Oatmeal is one of those seeds. But if you pour dairy over it, especially when your digestion has slowed in old age, you end up stunting the benefits it could offer. That's the paradox. What starts as an effort to eat right actually blocks you from absorbing the good stuff like fiber, iron, and magnesium. And in the long run, those are the nutrients elderly bodies crave the most. Of course, the dairy industry isn't in a rush to warn older adults about this. So unless you're digging for the truth, you'll keep thinking it's the best way to start your day. But now that you know, you can begin to test it for yourself. Try 1 week without dairy in your oatmeal and observe. Less bloating, better bathroom visits, more energy. These are the little victories that lead to big wins in longevity. And if milk wasn't enough of a surprise, wait until you find out that even fruits, yes, those innocent slices of nature's candy, might be quietly sabotaging your bowl as well. We've been told since childhood that fruit is always good for you. And yes, in the right context, it absolutely is. But when certain fruits meet your morning oatmeal, especially in old age, the result might not be as healthy as you think. Some fruits are packed with natural sugars like fructose and have high levels of acidity. When paired with oatmeal, they can ferment in the gut, slow digestion, and even disrupt nutrient absorption. For the elderly, whose digestive systems are more delicate, this combination often leads to bloating, fatigue, and irregular bowel movements, all while thinking you're eating clean. Take bananas, for instance. They're creamy, sweet, easy to slice, and a top choice for oatmeal lovers. But ripe bananas are extremely high in sugar, which can spike blood glucose levels, especially when eaten with slow carbs like oats. Then there's citrus, like oranges, pineapples, or even strawberries, which can make the gut more acidic and interfere with how your body processes the oat's minerals. A lot of elderly individuals complain about heartburn or stomach discomfort without realizing it could be their fruit topping that's to blame. It's not just about the sugar content, it's about timing and balance. If you love fruit, try separating it from your oatmeal by an hour. Or choose low fructose options like blueberries or blackberries, which are rich in antioxidants and easier on the elderly gut. Miss Evelyn, a 79-year-old from Arizona, used to load her oats with apple slices and raisins. She often felt sluggish and bloated. When she switched to plain oats with cinnamon and had her fruit as a mid-morning snack instead, her digestion and energy levels transformed within days. We must remember, in old age, even healthy foods can clash if combined poorly. The gut becomes less tolerant, the pancreas less responsive, and the metabolism slower. So while the intention is good, the execution can cost you in terms of senior health and longevity. There's a reason some traditional cultures separate fruit from meals entirely. They've learned that the way food is paired matters more as the body ages. The problem is that no one teaches elderly people how to unlearn what they thought was right. And the supermarket doesn't warn you either. Those pretty fruit and oat combo pictures on the packaging are misleading. That's why information like this becomes gold. It helps you eat not just for pleasure, but for precision. And in old age, precision is everything. Now imagine this. You've adjusted the milk, fine-tuned the fruit, but you're still adding just a touch of honey or a sprinkle of granola to sweeten the bowl. Could that innocent sweetness be the next invisible threat to your longevity? Sweetness has a way of sneaking in. Most elderly people wouldn't dare spoon white sugar over their oatmeal, and that's great. But sugar wears many disguises. A drizzle of honey, a scoop of granola, or a spoonful of fruit jam may seem harmless, but the glucose spike that follows is anything but gentle. Especially in old age, where insulin sensitivity is lower and blood sugar management is crucial, these sweet touches can quietly trigger a cascade of health issues. Energy crashes, brain fog, inflammation, and even damage to nerves and vision can trace back to these little choices. Let's break it down. Store-bought honey is often heated and filtered, stripping it of its benefits and leaving mostly liquid sugar. Granola, even when labeled healthy, usually contains several forms of sweeteners, oils, and additives that make it more dessert than breakfast. And jams. They may showcase fruit on the label, but most are closer to candy in nutritional impact. For elderly individuals who already face challenges like prediabetes, joint pain, or weight management, these disguised sugars quietly undermine senior health every single morning. Take Mr. Jorge, 81, who was proud of his clean eating, but he couldn't let go of his touch of honey and crunch in the oats. After a checkup showed higher blood sugar and early signs of nerve issues in his feet, he cut the sweeteners and replaced them with cinnamon and a pinch of stevia. Within 3 weeks, he reported steadier energy, better sleep, and sharper thinking. The lesson? The body after 70 responds quickly, both to harm and to healing. This is why longevity isn't about deprivation. It's about decoding what's quietly hurting you and replacing it with wiser choices. Want sweetness? Use mashed berries. Want crunch? Add roasted coconut flakes with no sugar. The goal is to satisfy your senses without spiking your system. After all, every spoonful sends a message to your body. And in old age, the body listens closely. Think of your breakfast like a financial investment. You wouldn't pour your money into something that gives you nothing back, right? The same goes for your oatmeal. If your toppings are robbing you of clarity, energy, or mobility, it's time to make a shift. Senior health thrives not on more rules, but on smarter decisions. The next time you prepare your bowl, pause and ask, is this helping me live longer, or just taste better for 5 minutes? And speaking of toppings, there's another group of healthy additions that might surprise you. Seeds, nuts, flax, they sound perfect. But in the wrong amounts or combinations, even these power foods can turn into unexpected enemies. It's tempting to believe that if a little is good, more must be better, especially when it comes to chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, and almonds. They're loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and healthy fats. But in old age, the elderly digestive system can struggle with dense, oily, or high-fiber foods, especially when they're stacked into one small bowl of oatmeal. That innocent handful of mixed seeds or crushed nuts might be overloading the gut, leading to constipation, heaviness, or even nutrient malabsorption. The irony? You're eating to feel better and ending up sluggish instead. Portion control is key, A teaspoon of ground flaxseed? Great. 2 tablespoons of whole chia left to swell inside the gut without enough water? Not so great. Nuts are the same. Raw and soaked almonds can support brain health, but too many cause digestive backup. For elderly individuals, moderation isn't just polite, it's necessary. The senior gut, after years of wear and tear, needs foods that cooperate, not challenge. And unfortunately, many oatmeal bowls are turning into battlegrounds. I knew an 85-year-old woman, Lucia, who added 3 kinds of seeds to her oats every morning: chia, flax, and sunflower, thinking it would boost her longevity. Instead, she ended up with constant bloating and irregular bowel movements. Her doctor couldn't find the issue until a nutritionist helped her simplify her breakfast. 1 seed per day, hydration, warm teas. Within 2 weeks, she felt lighter, clearer, and no longer dreaded the bathroom. It was never about the oats, it was about everything on top. It's important to remember, in old age, the digestive system behaves more like a careful accountant than a hungry teenager. It's slower, more selective, and easily overwhelmed. Just because something is nutrient-dense doesn't mean it's easily absorbed. If your goal is senior health and long-term vitality, you need to combine, not collide, your foods. Seeds and nuts are powerful, but only when used with wisdom. The trick is to rotate and reduce. Monday, flax. Tuesday, chopped walnut. Wednesday, hemp seeds. Keep the variety, but keep it simple. Think of your digestive tract as a narrow hallway. The more you try to push through at once, the more stuck things become. And nothing steals vitality faster than sluggish digestion and energy that feels off all day. Now imagine doing everything right. Oats, no sugar, gentle seeds, but pairing it with your morning coffee or black tea and still feeling drained. What if the drink in your hand is the real thief of nutrients? Many elderly folks enjoy their oatmeal with a warm cup of coffee or a soothing black tea. It's part of the routine, a moment of comfort, a quiet start to the day. But what few know is that this pairing, seemingly harmless, can block the absorption of essential nutrients like iron and calcium. For senior health, that's a big deal. These nutrients are critical for preventing fatigue, brittle bones, and even cognitive decline. In old age, the body becomes less efficient at extracting what it needs, so every bit matters. And when tannins from tea or caffeine from coffee get in the way, it's like locking the door just as the nutrients arrive. The science is simple. Both coffee and tea contain compounds that bind to minerals, making it harder for your body to absorb them properly. You may be eating iron-rich oats and taking a calcium supplement, but if you're sipping coffee at the same time, much of it may go to waste. It's not about giving up your morning drink. It's about timing. A simple shift, having your beverage 45 minutes after your meal, can help restore proper nutrient flow and support longevity in a powerful way. Mrs. Irene, 77, swore by her oatmeal and coffee combo for decades. But she often felt tired, and her bone scans showed early signs of weakening. Her nutritionist asked one simple question: "Do you drink coffee with breakfast?" That small change, waiting 1 hour instead, helped improve her energy, and her next scan showed measurable improvement. Sometimes, it's not about adding more to your routine. It's about removing interference. In old age, that wisdom can be life-changing. The body in old age is like a well-worn machine. It still works, but it needs cleaner fuel and less friction. Nutrients don't just need to be consumed, they need to be absorbed. And many elderly individuals are unknowingly blocking this process with their favorite drink. It's heartbreaking to see someone doing everything right and still suffering from fatigue, bone pain, or brain fog, all because of one invisible mistake. If you can't give up the morning ritual, switch to herbal teas like rooibos or chamomile. They're naturally free of tannins and caffeine, soothing to the digestive tract, and still give that cozy warmth we all crave. Alternatively, drink water with lemon during breakfast and save your coffee for mid-morning. These are small moves with massive payoff for longevity and senior health. Your bones, brain, and body will thank you. So if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most elderly people who never question their routines. You've looked deeper into your oatmeal bowl and uncovered more than just grains. Now the question becomes, what will you do with all this knowledge? Let me ask you something. How many years have you been eating oatmeal thinking you were doing everything right? And how many mornings did you feel tired, bloated, or achy without ever questioning what was really in that bowl? Now you know. The oatmeal wasn't the enemy, but the company it kept might have been quietly stealing your energy, your bone strength, your clarity. So, what will you change tomorrow morning? Will you keep combining those healthy ingredients without thinking twice? Or will you take charge of your senior health with wiser, gentler, and more effective habits? Because longevity doesn't happen by accident. It's built, spoon by spoon, habit by habit. And what seems small today can completely transform how you feel next month, next year, or even at 90. I want to hear from you. Which of these oatmeal mistakes surprised you the most? Have you experienced any of these effects? Tell me in the comments. Your story could help someone else wake up to a better routine. And if this video gave you a fresh perspective, imagine what else we can explore together. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Every week, we're diving deep into the real secrets behind elderly health, longevity, and vibrant aging. You deserve to feel alive, clear, and strong, no matter your age. This journey has just begun,